Hey everyone. Not standing right now because there's not a whole lot more to show you as far as my ability to walk and all. Maybe a gradual improvement. I'll probably show that again tomorrow. But I am now about 4 days post-op. Uh, I've been lying down for much of the morning with my my brace unlocked and partly open. My leg just kind of laid out, and I'm letting things kind of wiggle around a little bit more. So if I turn over in bed or anything like that, getting my knee used to those little kind of disturbances in its position, not keeping it 100% locked in place all the time. Because eventually I'm going to have to be able to do that. I'm going to have to be able to tolerate just kind of random motions and all. Then that's what an intact, properly functioning knee should be able to handle. So doing that, working on some exercises, still trying to get to contract my quad, and in fact I'm doing some of it right now because of the damage to the patellar tendon or ligament, whichever you want to call it. There's a lot of pain right there because I'm basically pulling on a thing that was split open and sutured back together. So that has to heal a certain amount, I think, before I can reliably tug on it and have it lift my leg. What I'm trying to do is contract my quad some, get some tension going through that attachment, and then use my hand to kind of assist to give the rest of the force needed to lift my leg whenever I have to move it. What is good, I have had some progress here. I'm able to slide my leg around more and more quickly get it onto, say, the bed or a table, or off back to the ground. That's not taking as much time. So again, those little random side to side movements and things aren't as painful. I did wake up with my knee burning today, and I think that's a combination of having done a lot of exercises yesterday, flexion exercises, trying to bend my knee more, as well as the knee extension or quad contraction exercises. Those are both taxing on it. The bending my knee, of course, is stretching the front of my knee and tugging on those tissues, and there's still swelling in there. And so the swelling makes it even tighter, makes it even harder on those tissues to tolerate bending of the knee. So I'm trying to, get the swelling out, which involves even a little bit of massage and whatnot, and just kind of get into that, get better at tolerating that. But those exercises, both bending the knee and trying to straighten and lift it, have taken a toll. That, plus I didn't take any of my hydrocodone that I was prescribed yesterday. Went all day yesterday. I haven't taken anything today at all, not even a naproxen that they also prescribed me, just 500 milligram naproxen. And I'm trying to see how much I can tolerate without any of the medications. Partly because the side effects can be kind of problematic, GI issues and all that, but also it's just good. If I can tolerate this with no pain meds whatsoever, that's a good sign. So I'm working through that. If you want to see kind of how things are, let's see if I can. Will it let me flip things around? Maybe it won't right now, but I'll attach a quick clip to the very end of this so you can see what I was talking about as far as how I'm working with my leg right now. Anyway, day 4 post-op. So yeah, my bed's a bit of a mess because I'm having to move around blankets and cushions and all kinds of stuff to accommodate my knee. So when I finally get into a position that's comfortable enough for me to sleep, I just kind of leave it alone. It doesn't matter if it looks like a mess. At any rate, you can see that I have a couple of the straps open here just to let my knee kind of wiggle around. The first couple of days, just turning my leg like this would have been pretty painful and also would have just felt very uneasy. It's getting better. There's some tightness. If you saw the unwrapping video, then you saw how much stuff was in there padding this, and then how swollen it was. And of course the swelling's still there. You can still see some of the swelling through here. And I can press on it, and that's not just padding from the gauze pad, because gauze pads are mainly here and a little on this side. And it's not just the ACE bandage. This is actually fluid that's accumulated. And so I'm periodically kind of doing ankle pump exercises and also kind of stroking with my hand and massaging just to try to keep some of it moving. And I'll sometimes take the wrap off and then massage it without the wrap, making sure not to get my grubby fingers right on the dressing. And the dressing is sealed with Tegaderm as well. But I'm just basically trying to keep this from swelling up and getting too big. And I actually had my leg higher before. I still have to lift my leg if I want to move it. I have to lift it with my hand. But that was a much more aggressive movement than I was able to tolerate the first day or two. So that's progress there. Now my foot's a little higher. And I've been taking my ice pack, which is partly melted now, but, just kind of putting it on here on either side. And this morning has been a very slow-paced, just relaxed morning. I've barely gotten out of bed because I've just been lying down, letting some of the swelling, kind of trying to let the fluid drain out, and then also massaging it out and putting this cold compress on it. And that helps with the pain a lot. And seeing how I can manage it. Now, my knee is slightly bent right now. And if I try to straighten it, there is pain in the joint. It's not easy. You probably can barely see anything happening. If I try to bend my knee, we've made a lot of progress there. I'm not to 90 or anything, but I'm getting probably about 30 degrees of flexion right now. Something like that. If I can go back to pretty much straight, or nearly straight from here, and try to hold the camera as still as I can. And I'm dragging my heel back. Now I'm still trying to be careful because there's still a lot of damage in the front, right here where the main incision was. And when I bend my knee, of course, it's tightening all of that up, so that stuff is pressing down right on where the cuts were made. So that's actually what's slowing me down. More than anything else with the knee flexion stuff is I have to be able to tolerate pressure on that area and also stretching of the skin in that area. Since obviously, again, if you bend your knee, then the skin on the front of your knee is being stretched. So, it'll take some time, but we're doing okay. I'm probably going to unwrap this later and just do some more massaging and kind of try to see how the swelling is feeling. Things are okay. There's a little bit of pain out here. But I couldn't do this the first day, just patting on the front of it. So that's kind of good. We'll see how it all goes. But that's day 4. I can do this much more aggressively. I'm looking forward to the day when I can just use my quad to lift my leg up. Just do a straight leg race without having to use my hands or any other assistance, or use my other foot to lift underneath my calf. I can't do that right now. It's still pretty tough. But I'll get there eventually. I also have my first follow-up this coming Friday with the doctor's office, with the surgeon's office. So I've got 3 more days, basically, before I go in. So I'll be 1 week post-op, and they're going to see how everything's looking in here. And hopefully they're pleased with what they see. Hopefully they don't jump on me for being too aggressive or not aggressive enough or whatever. So we'll see. But there you go. All right, so I was a little untruthful earlier as far as not doing any standing updates. Here we are so far. I can stand okay. The brace is locked. I'm learning to contract my quad so I can start weight bearing without any crutch or anything. Obviously, I'm not going to do this all day, but we've made some progress. So I call that a win. That's 4 days, so that's the day 4 update. I'll finish with that. Thanks for watching.